Hey there, it's your girl Gretchen. In today's conversation about narcissistic abuse, I wanted to talk about some of the buzzwords. I wanted to talk about charming, adore, empathy, and lying. So the first word, charming, that is the way I would describe him over and over again when we first started dating. I had never described anybody as charming before, but I would say that was definitely like the foremost experience he wanted me to have. He had a day job and they would put on these networking events, and I was self-employed at the time and I had my cleaning company, so I wanted to network it. And I invited a friend to attend one of these events. They were holding it at a restaurant. He had sent me a drink, but I didn't know that. And so I'm talking to my friend and I gestured. I opened my arms up like this, and the server came and she put a drink in my hand. So I'm standing there talking, I gesture, and this drink showed up in my hand. It was like something out of a movie. It was magical, and magical stuff like that kept happening. So it wasn't just what to me felt like thoughtfulness of understanding what kind of drinks I liked and making sure I was having a nice time and he was taking care of me, but it was also creating this magical experience. And I just fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker, head over heels, all the other cliches. He would also make sure my friends always had drinks, like just very charming, winning everybody over. Anytime somebody would leave after meeting him, they would always just gush about how they felt afterwards. So he just made everybody feel so amazing. And it was that charming factor that now scares the hell out of me and is a trigger and makes me think someone's trying to kill me. The second one is adore. I can't tell you the number of times he would tell me, I just want to be adored. And it's interesting because when you first meet somebody, especially when they're so charming, you do kind of adore them. And then over time, you kind of settle into the relationship, and maybe that isn't the first thing that comes to mind. And I think that's when he grew tired of me, is when I stopped like adoring him. But how weird would that be if you married somebody and for 30 years, that was kind of like the first thing they felt all of the time, that you adored them? Like how uneven would that be? The next one is empathy. Empathy is the ability to feel what somebody else feels, even if it's not happening to you. So if you know someone who's been in a car accident or lost a loved one, or, even if something good is happening, maybe they got their dream job and you feel what they feel and you go along with them emotionally. Empathy is what can keep us from mistreating somebody else. How would you feel if someone did that to you? Oh, I wouldn't like it. Well, then I'm not going to do it to them. Anybody in the cluster B personality disorder group is going to lack empathy. And usually that's something they just display. He actually said it. He actually said, I can't feel empathy. And he was relatively self-deprecating. He also had like an outside job, a second job, hobby, really. And he was a performer, and his performance style would be called self-deprecating. So it was just kind of like part of his shtick. And so I thought he either was like having moments where he felt like he wasn't contributing enough in general, or maybe he was just being a little self-deprecating where he would say he couldn't feel empathy. But I now understand that like there are people out there who literally cannot feel empathy. And he definitely was one of them. And then the last one is lying. He told me early on, and oh my gosh, if anybody ever says this to me again, I'm out. He said that he was really good at lying. And I thought he meant like exaggerating. We both kind of had a sales role in our job, and I didn't feel like he ever was unethical, like he would lie to get the sale kind of thing. I don't know what I thought he meant by that. But he did brag about how good he was at lying. And yeah, I saw that. So those are just some buzzwords I wanted to put out there. I'm curious what narcissistic abuse buzzwords you experienced firsthand that you're like, if you see this, if you hear someone say it, just walk away. I'm never doing that again. So I'm curious to hear what your experience has been. Have a great day.